Welcome back. As you can see here, I've got quite a few sets of wheels out in front of me. And if you're familiar with my channel, you'll know I really like wheels and tires. Very into scale detail on my builds. So I thought today, since I had all of these kind of compiled, it would be a good opportunity to go over some of the, I don't know how you say it, lesser known wheel options out there. Non-mainstream wheel options, I guess. So we've got the Ogunke RC wheel and tire set up here to the left. We've got Wtmicro's Arsenal V2s to the lower left. In the center bottom, we've got Hobby Soul's aluminum weighted rims. Upper center is Coda Racing's aluminum rims. And then on the right hand side are two sets from MRC or Magic Racing. So I believe both of those are weighted as well. But we're going to get those out, take a closer look at the front and back sides, see how wide they are, put them on the scales, weigh them, and then potentially get some tires mounted up to some of these that don't have them, just to kind of get a final look of what they look like. And in the future, these are all going to find a home, most likely as alternates, potentially new wheels on a new build. But anyways, let's jump into it. All right, I figured we might as well start with the wheels that are already unpackaged, and that is the Wtmicro Arsenal V2s. These are resin printed, and these are available from Wtmicro's on Etsy. So I've got multiple sets of his rims in different styles, and these are no exception. These are super detailed, just wonderfully painted. They've got that desert tan kind of inner detail ring. Let's see if we can get this to focus here, but you can see that level of detail around the rim. So these are kind of a mil-spec kind of looking wheel, very military looking, and they've come with a little printed center cap as well. So they've got little tabs, you can get a flat head in there and just pop it off when you need to access the wheel nut. But this is what it looks like with that cap in there. And then of course, plenty of room, it looks like, around the hex. So you can see I've got the various types of hex weights here. Now, these are basically the same, just a bigger diameter. So you've got the flat back, and then you've got this type that actually is a heavier type that recesses back towards the face of the rim, whereas this one is just a flat surface. So these are typically harder to fit because you'll run into wheel hardware, which this one obviously doesn't have. So these should fit in there no issue, I would think, as long as they fit the hex. But these don't seem to want to fit in the hex. There they go. Just had to get them centered up. So plenty of room on that. Hopefully I can get this guy out without an axle holding it. That's just for the sake. Take the flat ones, and these should fit just fine. And that does. So no issue with the resin wheels fitting any kind of light or heavy hex weight on those, because they don't have any back screw hardware on them. So I think we're going to turn on these calipers here, and we'll get a measurement of the width of these guys. And I believe these guys are going to be like the island style super wide deep dish that Wtmicro's makes. So 21.89 millimeters wide, so pretty wide. And you can see that from the face, that's just a super deep dish there. So I think we're going to take a look at the next set, and then at the end, once they're all assembled, we'll get them on the scales and do a head-to-head weigh-in. Okay, the next set is going to be this Ogunke RC pre-mounted wheel and tire set. So these are aluminum wheels, they're not beadlock, and the tires come pre-mounted and glued. And these are actually the same tires. I've got another set of these. They're either No Name, and I believe Endura makes them, now Hot Racing makes them. They actually have a really soft, flexible rubber. I like the other set I've got. So the main difference was these come with the white lettering, which I think is just awesome. I don't think I've seen another 1.0 tire come with any white letters, so super scale, I like that. And then I love deep dish wheels, obviously, and these are super deep dish, You can see the back face. It's basically at the rim. And then there is no hub on there. The hubs are actually separate pieces. So you get those and the hardware. But, you know, just these look killer. And the fact that they're glued is not an issue. I like these tires on there. I like the white letters. They're vented and they have a really good feel to them. You know, soft foam. So these were off of Amazon. I'll put the price up there. I want to say these were around the $30 mark. And these are just deep dish wheel and tires. So just something I thought, hey, I'm going to try. I haven't heard of this brand, but I could not pass up the look of these. So good option for something that you want to be more of a lightweight rig. So I'm going to go ahead and get the hubs assembled on there, and then we'll see about the hex weight fitment. But before I get the hubs on there, let's go ahead and see if I can get kind of a true width here of just the rim face. I have to compress this tire a little bit. So 16.56 millimeters for these guys. So not too shabby. They're definitely not skinny wheels. So let me get these hubs on here and we'll see what these guys fit. All right, hubs are in and those look even better. Just super sick. Love a deep dish rim. So got the hexes here. In theory, they should all fit if they actually fit the hex opening. And with these flat weights, it's very easy to get a Dremel wheel or just sandpaper and sand the hex down if it doesn't fit. For these, it's pretty difficult because the hex is recessed deep in there, so it's kind of hard. So let's see, hopefully these will fit. It's tight fit, but yeah, fits in there. And I think I can even push it in a little further, but I don't want to get it stuck on there since I don't have any way to pull it off. So then we've got this heavier one here. And this one, it's a tight fit. It looks like it'll fit, well, it chamfers in, so it may not want to fit around the width of this. But either way, it doesn't look like the brass hex is fitting in the opening. So, you know, you just, it's hit or miss with the weights. You always gotta just see if the hex will fit. But like I say, with these flat ones, you can sand the hex down pretty easily and make them fit. Let's try this brass one. So, yeah, this one's fitting in there as well. So, seems like there's just a little tolerance issue with this one potentially. So, anyways, that's the second set of wheels, and in this case, tires. So, let's move on to the next ones. The next set we've got here are these gorgeous red aluminum wheels from Coda Racing. So they've got the like machined edge at the lip, but these look super sick. So these are fairly lightweight. They have aluminum rings. So I'm going to pull these out and take a look at them, but I've also got these brass rings that Mofo RC sells, or he sold at one point. They're for power hobby type wheels and of course, you know, knockoffs. So I'm thinking that these hopefully will fit the Coda Racing, so I can add a little front weight bias to these aluminum rims, but we'll take a look at that here in a second. So let me pop these out of the packaging real quick. Okay, got this guy open. So one reason that I bought these, besides the look of them, was the rear face style. And you can see here, there's that beveled edge for the screws. So the screws are actually recessed in and they're flush. So again, that comes into play if you're going to put that flat hex weight face on there. You don't want hardware that pops up and protrudes. And there's quite a few like Endura type wheels that do have that feature. A lot of knockoff type of wheels have that feature. It's usually the nicer ones, some of the Power Hobbies, but you can see here on these screw heads that they will recess in flush. So another thing to consider, the back side of the wheel when you're looking at these weights. So let me get out these brass rings. Let's test fit one here and see. So none of these are assembled. So it looks pretty close. And it looks like we have a winner. Those are going to line up just like that. Sweet. So I'm going to assemble a brass ring, a couple of brass ring and a couple of aluminum versions to actually weigh up. And so let me get, let me get a few screws in the back face to hold these guys together, and then we can see how wide they are and see what the fitment is. Okay, let's see what these guys' width is. Measure it out. 14.94, so that's the narrowest wheel yet that we have measured. So I've got the brass ring, perfect fitment, and the aluminum ring as well. So it's not going to affect how anything fits on the back. So obviously this one won't fit with the return, this deep heavy one, because you don't have that space to the wheel face, but any of these flat ones should fit perfectly and easy fit in that hex, versus that Ogunke RC was super tight. So that's nice. Let's just try this one. Yeah, drops right in. So can't wait to get these mounted up. I've got an idea of where they're going. So let's move on to the next set. For the fourth set, we've got these Hobby Soul, and these are off of Amazon as well. These guys look super clean, and I believe these are available in like 6 different color combos of inner wheel face and outer ring. They did take a little longer for shipping. You can see they've got the really bulky hardware on the back that will likely interfere with that heavy hex weight. But the unique thing about these rims that I liked was this deep dish face. They also have uneven halves, so you can flip the face and mount it outward here, and you basically, I think you've got the face flush with the ring, so it gives you a different offset as well. So it's got some customization there. But I just thought these looked really kind of aggressive, and I liked the logo kind of top and bottom with the rivets. It just kind of has a rally style look, and not super deep dish, but definitely deep dish. So these say that they have a stainless, heavyweight stainless ring. So look at that, that fits in there. So it looks like those screw heads do not interfere after all with this heavy weight. So that's nice. So then this flat one will definitely fit, and it does. All right, so I'm curious what these weigh. They're not super heavy, but they do have some weight to them. So let's turn this on and see the width of these. And these do look fairly wide. So these are 16 even. So these are kind of mid-range for sure. All right, let's see what's next. All right, let's look at this first set of Magic Racing aluminum wheels. So these are true bead locks, where you have to uninstall or install all of the outer ring screws. The hub screws are just faux. They don't do anything. You can see the back side, the hub face is basically flush with the spokes. So it doesn't give you a lot of engagement on a wheel weight like this. That just protrudes a little bit past the face with this inset. I think this will fit, but it's not going to be, yeah, it won't be able to fully seat within the hex, but you could run it. These flat ones would be the way to go because they will fully engage that hex. So plenty of room on the inside as far as diameter, that back side of the rim. These are very narrow, kind of a unique brass ring. The hardware is here that it comes with. I think what would set this off is putting in the scale hex head hardware, which I do have some of that. So maybe I will install those, and I think that would really set these off. They kind of have that rally style look to them. A little bit of definition, not super deep dish, but they're definitely not shallow. I think they would look good on a red and black build, which there's several that I do have. So let's check out the width here. So zero it out. So we are at 12.66 for these guys. So these are the narrowest that we've looked at yet. So that is the first set of MRC. Let's take a look at this next one. So here is the second MRC or Magic Racing wheel set that I've got. So this one, really nice, aluminum with the brass ring again. It's got the logo there on both sides here, and then no hardware on the face. It's all just machined little rivets. And there's a good little contour to the face, that multi-hole pattern. So all the hardware is on the back side, and you can see there is one in there. So it looks like they're recessing that hardware a little, and then it's a little pan head, so it looks almost like it's flush. You can see there's a little lip from the hub to the back of the face. So the hardware's out of the way, so it's definitely going to work for the flat face weight, and it does. The question is, you know, this one, same kind of thing. It's probably not going to have enough engagement to really want to bite that hex very well, and it doesn't. It kind of does bite, but it wants to wobble a little. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to call that one, but these do vary by wherever you get them, whoever makes them, and they're easily modified as well. So let's see how wide these guys are. Put in your guesses, but I'm going to say 12.66, just like the other. So these are saying 12.59. These are zeroed. So these look to be a little narrower. No, 12.59, yeah, there it is. So the others were, looks like the brass ring is the exact same width though. Just the wheel is a tad bit narrower. So that is the last set of rims. So I think it's time to get out the scales and let's see head to head each wheel and what they weigh. Okay, scales out. I've got the wheel tire line up here in the order we looked at them. So we'll be starting with Wtmicro resin wheels. Coming in at 4 grams, so super light, ultra light. So the aluminum wheel tire combo from OGRC, 19.2 grams. And then the Coda Racing full aluminum as it comes assembly, 11.5 grams. And then the Coda Racing with the added brass ring bumps it up to 19.3 grams. And we've got the Hobby Sole with the brass ring, 21.4. And then we've got the MRC with the brass ring, 22.9 grams. And then we've got the second MRC with brass ring, 23.5 grams. So those are the weights of the fully assembled wheels with all the hardware that they come with, or the tire glued to them if they come that way, obviously. So good to know weights of the wheels and widths of the wheels and what the back sides of those wheels and screws look like. Those are usually key components and what I'm looking for beyond just style in a wheel. So good to know. I think now I'm I'm gonna see about maybe fitting up some tires so you can get a sense of what these actually look like mounted. Here we are, we've got tires now mated up to a rim. So those are looking really nice. So we'll start on the end. So we've got a Power Hobby Defender on that Arsenal. And of course the OG RC, how it comes. This is an Endura mud terrain on that Coda Racing. And then this is LGRP, Little Guy Racing Swamp Kings on the Hobby Soul. Those look sweet. And we've got the Endura Pin comp tires on the MRC. And then we've got the LGRP Little Guy Racing grippers on the other side of the MRC. So that gives you a really good kind of look at these mounted up. It's hard to pick a favorite wheel, but I gotta say, I really like this machine face finish, the deep dish and that blue rim. I think that Hobby Soul may be my favorite out of the set here, but I gotta say, I think they all look really nice. So anyways, I just wanted to show off some kind of off the beaten path wheel options out there. These are definitely not super well known. Most of these are Amazon buys, minus the Etsy Wtmicro. So anyways, sometimes you can find some diamonds in the rough if you look a little while. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and maybe you'll end up with one of these sets of wheels.